Priska had expressed how disappointed she is with her dairy cows. She has 2 milking cows and 1 heifer, but her milk production is very low. I wonder if the low milk production has something to do with the feeding of the cows. Let's find out. We have invited Solomon, an expert from CIAT. He can explain to the family how important certain plants can be for both feeding cows and for the shamba. Solomon?
Yes.
We've had a look at the feeding plan of the cows, Priska's cows, and she says mostly she feeds them on napier grass. And this is the napier.
Sure.
What's your observation? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, quickly, what I thought she might be missing some of the things because you cannot just feed your animals on napier grass alone.
All right.
And to begin with, if you look at this napier, it's not that green. It should be really green to mean that it has more of nutrients, especially the protein.
All right.
If you look at that portion, it's overgrown. And literally, for her to be able to feed properly to the animal, they should be harvested at about 3 feet. And the best way to tell 3 feet is like waist high.
Oh, at the waist.
At the waist.
Okay.
So past that age, the napier is deteriorating or becoming poor in terms of the benefits you would want the animal to get from this napier. Every time you're harvesting your napier, you're actually mining from the soils. And if you don't get the nutrients back, you'll keep getting reduced yields for your animals and not enough for your cows. So one of the key things you should do, if you look at this portion which you have harvested, you should be able to come, make some narrow furrows in between your napier, put your manure and cover it. I know most of the farmers, what they do, after weeding their napier, they just come and sprinkle the manure on top. By doing that, you actually lose what you want to go, the napier to benefit from. The nitrogen goes to the air, but it should be taken up by the roots. That's why you are putting it where the roots can access.
What is the other option of managing when I have surplus of it?
For napier, what you can do is to make silage, and it can stay until when you have a need.
All right, just as a recap, Priska, you said you only feed them the napier grass.
The napier grass and the normal grass.
Solomon, is that the right way of managing our cows?
There are quite a number of developed and improved forages and grasses, for that matter, that she can utilize to be able to feed her animals properly. And one of the categories we have is what we call bracharia. And bracharia has quite a number of hybrids and as well as cultivars. And if she is able to plant as well on her farm, which they can grow here, she will be able to improve her feeding. Because they are more nutritious, the animal can easily digest them in the stomach and turn that into milk. And for those who feed for beef, for meat.
Right.
There are also legumes, because I've looked at her farm. She only gives one type of food, which gives more of energy. But she needs to balance and also make sure she can generate some protein from her farm. And a good example is like sun hemp or crotoralia. There is desmodium, and they can also easily grow and be able to reduce her cost on dairy meal. And the animals will have gotten what they need in terms of milk production.
All right.
Yep.
Growing fodder crops for your cattle reduces expenses for buying concentrate feeds and provides your animals with adequate nutrients. Bracharia grass has proved to be a better alternative animal feed that has a higher crude protein and energy content and is also easily digested compared to napier grass. Here is how to plant it. Prepare a good seed bed. The soil has to be mixed thoroughly with well-rotten manure. You can either use seeds, root splits, or stem cuttings as planting materials. For seeds, plant at the beginning of rains. Create 1 to 2 centimeter deep furrows and 50 centimeters spacing. Drill the seeds and cover lightly with soil. You can also sow the seed in a nursery bed and transplant the seedlings after 6 weeks. Ensure you mulch the nursery bed with dry grass. The grass takes 21 weeks or 5 months to flower after sowing. This is the best time to start feeding the livestock.